Good morning everyone, welcome to Going to Ground. Another fine day here in Wiltshire, a glorious confusion of frost and sunshine, a kind of dress rehearsal for the turning of the seasons as spring prepares for summer. And in the Anglican calendar we embark upon Rogation tide, several days now when by custom and tradition the land was blessed, the crops were blessed and the parish bounds were beaten, and God's people asked that he might turn away wrath and make their land a place of bounty and of promise. And for centuries in our country, this was the key way in which people learned their community by heart. They learned the landscape by heart, and familiar markers, hedgerows, watercourses, trees would become internalized as they understood who they were by learning where they were. And that's something we're recovering again in our season. It's also a very scriptural practice, and in the Psalms, many of them tell the story of the relationship between God and them and the land, and it's always triangulated in that way, particularly in the Psalms, as the story is recapitulated, retold again and again, and passed down the generations. Remember who you are in relation to your place and to the God who has provided it and promised it to you. And in that retelling, both in Rogation tide and in the way the Psalms do that, is always an element of judgment or wrath, and that's uncomfortable for us in many ways. And preachers like me very often sand away the edges of those scriptures because it feels too jagged, too uncomfortable for our culture and time. But so much of that needs to be retained if the wrath of God is, as St. Paul says, God allowing us to see the ends of our actions, then goodness me, there are aspects of judgment that we need to recover in our time. And I wonder what that might mean for us over the next few days. I was hoping to go on my own Rogation tide walk this Sunday along the Kenneton Avon Canal, and I won't be able to do that now, but it will be possible in other ways. And wherever you are, urban or rural, I wonder what route you could take to enter into that kind of three-way conversation with your environment and with God. Even if you're not sure about the relationship with either of them or their relationship to you, it's something to explore and to just try out. And by doing that, we become more deeply rooted as people, I believe. When the Psalms retold the story of God's people, their story, they had to do it in what today's psalm calls some hard sentences. Listen, O people, and I will tell you hard sentences of old, because part of the story was the story of how they turned away and turned to idolatry, as we were talking about yesterday with the golden calf and so on. And they had to bear that and hear that. And then there will be aspects of our dwelling in our place and land, which we have to hear again, the story of what hasn't been good and right. Some of you know that I've made a study of the English parish over the years, and in the retelling of that story, which is often really uncomfortable, particularly for the church's role, it's so important that church people bear the jagged parts of their story and own them and own up to them, that once again that their place and our place together might be one of bounty and of peace. So God bless you in these Rogation days and as you go to ground.